Hello, hello, my fellow sensitive people. It is I, Whimsy. I'm here in my offices doing my thing, being a naturopathic doctor, and I'm very excited about today because I just ordered all my bulk herbs. And when I get all those bulk herbs, I'll be able to make my teas and my tinctures and all that other cool stuff that I make for my patients. So today was a good day. I'm going to go ahead and just throw cards today because people have been asking me to do it and I just haven't been able to because of time constraints. So the first throw we're going to do, we'll do one on general throw for the country, and then we'll do one on Brexit because people have been asking about Brexit, and then we'll do some other questions that people had asked after that. Sound good? Okay. Let's do a simple prayer and focus. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and wisdom needed to empower our viewers to make the best decisions for themselves, the planet, for the people they love. And with that, I say amen. Let's take a look. What does the planet look like in the coming week? We'll say till the end of August. What is going to happen with the rest of August? Somebody had asked me to tune into Eric Gardner, the man that was murdered by the police. When I tuned into him, I saw that they were going to be changing laws. He was going to get his own law, and they're going to put a memorial plaque where he was murdered. And I also saw there would be a bill, there would be a memorial, and a couple dedications to him. So he will, a law will be attached to his name. Just wanted people to know that. All right, so this week there's a continuing stalemate. You can see Two of Pentacles moving in. Two of Pentacles is hear no evil, see no evil, speaks no evil. So there is still a resistance, I think, still a holdout in terms of Democrats and Republicans not wanting to be on the same page. Two of Swords is also a refusal to see the facts or a refusal to look at things. Also, the Two of Swords is symbolized by two heavy swords that you can barely lift, showing that one's own ignorance has become a source of burden for them. And then what comes up after that is a judgment or determination. People have argued that there's a karmic aspect to judgment, who will live and who will die. There is an aspect of the accumulation of karma with judgment coming to a final conclusion or judgment. Where we are at right now, the party is over. Four of Wands inverted, and it could also indicate the end of a celebration or a cycle in the garden within 4 months. So we're now in August, September, October, November, December. It could be that the presidency is over as early as December. You can see a Two of Wands crossing it, which is rough waters ahead. So we're seeing for the country a lot of indecision, a lot of infighting, and it's almost like a child being born in the sense that it's a very rough period for the country, painful, difficult, and transitional. What is above, you can see here again, the lady who stands as the judge, Yehudit, the archetype, with the wand of justice. She comes in and she is actually in the 4th house. So it's an energy moving in. This is the energy of the divine feminine, but it's also divine justice, my way. It's the woman who fights for her own space. She reminds me of myself, you know. She is the fire sign female. She has the staff. She pounds the staff and she says, my way. So there's an aspect to it where if it's inverted, it can be angry, selfish, but straight up, it's really establishing a firm, solid sense of justice, particularly in those people whose boundaries have been crossed. This is someone who comes in and rights an injustice, particularly an injustice that involves someone crossing someone else's boundaries, whether it's classism, stealing from the poor, taking things away from someone that didn't belong to them, coming into someone's personal space where they don't belong, sexual abuse, etc., would be examples of somebody coming into somebody else's space and stealing or taking something that didn't belong to them. When the Queen of Wands moves in, she's the one with the wand who cast people out of the circle or out of the space, somebody who balances the space. I really like her. I really like this archetype, and I really like this aspect of myself as a fire sign female. People have said that Nancy Pelosi has that aspect. It's interesting, Ghislaine Maxwell, who I think also probably became somebody who turned state's evidence, who may be cooperating at this point. I don't see her as a good person. I see her as somebody who is very much classist, very much part of that disease we see, which promotes classism, slavery, etc. I read an interview yesterday that Ghislaine Maxwell was asked how she felt about the children that were being abused, and she called them trash. So it goes back to that idea that it's easy to commit crimes against humanity, against another human being, once you denigrate them or make them out to be smaller than they are. So that's a typical example of what Mother Earth would have a problem with. If you're looking at religion, religion has no problems with classism or injustice because it tends to be infected with the virus of classism and victim bashing. But if you're looking at the natural order or the Earth's order, Mother Nature, which is more egalitarian, it's simply people cooperating, that's associated with longevity. That's associated with helping the planet expand. Competition that requires a victim is actually associated with poor resource management and eventually extinction of a tribe. The tribes that are the most cooperative are the ones that tend to survive the longest. In the past placement and also in the third house here, we see Eight of Swords, to feel tied or bound. So there's a feeling that we are loosening our bounds or getting out of a situation that was intractable before. And also a Five of Swords inverted in the past tells us that we came from a situation of a chronic battle. We were not able to, we didn't give up, we kept fighting. Lately I've been getting really strong energy from Bernie Sanders that he only sees himself winning. He has no, his drive is so strong that he does not see room for error. It's interesting because I think he'll pick Elizabeth Warren if he takes it. If Elizabeth Warren takes it, I think she'll pick Buttigieg. That's what I'm seeing. But it's interesting, the energy moving in right now is really very clear for people. It's about classism and about people being exploited by a select group of people. The interesting energy now coming in is inverted King of Cups. So expect a lot of gaslighting, expect a lot of confusion, people incapable of leaving bad habits. Once you realize that it's not your fault, once you realize that you didn't ask for it, once you realize that you didn't pick your parents, once you realize that you're not responsible for the abusive behavior of abusive people, it frees you from all the guilt and shame that never belonged to you in the first place. See, that's modern Buddhism. You can just give it to the perpetrator. But you're going to see a lot of gaslighting and abuse of power in the coming week. We're going to have to go through a lot of garbage in the coming week, moving on from a situation which was potentially an abuse of power. This is the hope and the fear. The clarification. Expect delays, I'm sorry to say, this month. We're going to start having additional problems with Barr. Barr is going to attempt to one more stand to defend Trump. Probably going after the investigators. That was something he wanted to do. But expect some more resistance from Barr. I'm just going to go in now and take a look at Brexit, because people are worried that a hard Brexit, they say, would lead to an economic collapse of Great Britain, but they're going to do it anyway. So I just want to check and see if they're going to still go through with Brexit. What is going to be with Brexit? They're going to have to work it out. Two of Wands moving in with a Magician card. Magician card means working it out, but Two of Wands suggests partnership and possible entrepreneurship. It does not suggest a hard Brexit, because this is the person who trades, who waits for his trade to come in. Where they're at right now, dumping the load, crossing it, going nowhere. I don't think Brexit can happen. I don't think it's possible. Trying to get out of a restriction that they have placed themselves in, worried about commerce, chronic headache. Trying to make a mathematical formula work that can't work. Inability to go it alone. You can see Hermit card. It's not looking good. Inability to hang it up. I just, anger, people are screaming at each other in Parliament. Anger and chaos as the outcome. To be honest with you, I would not be surprised with cards like this if the Prime Minister was removed fairly soon, like within the next couple of months, because unhealthy situation and anger and frustration. Sorry, folks, if you supported Brexit, this is the hope and the fear, the deal with the devil. Look at that, the offer with the devil, the final outcome, anger, frustration, unhealthy. I still don't see a working Brexit. Sorry, folks. Okay, I was asked, I'm trying to speak a little low because the patients are here today. I'm going to go ahead and throw again. This time I want to look at what is going on with the economy. People had said that they're concerned about a crash. So let's just go ahead and see what the economy is going to be like in the coming 6 months. We'll try and see if we can go 6 months forward. The economy in the next 6 months. Oh, be careful about where you spend your money. Be careful about your investments. Be careful your money isn't held up in an investment you might regret. Be careful that your investments also reflect your values and that your investments are good for the environment, because with this type of juxtaposition, the devil on one hand, the Godhead on the other, people are really having to determine where they want to put their money. Where you put your money is going to determine where you head. If you put it into the environment and into green mutual funds, you'll be fine. If you go in the other direction, you may find yourself headed towards, your finances headed towards extinction. The Page of Swords is coming in, so things are definitely changing. We're going to see a drop in the market. You can see, unfortunately, the money tree. Also, this can be somebody's 401k. It's inverted over Page of Swords, not good. The end, yeah. The economy's going to possibly tank. Confusion over what went wrong. There's a feeling like, as a result of this president, it was completely chaotic. And as a result, nobody's in charge now. I'm sorry, but there's an inverted Ace of Swords coming in the near future. And action, reaction, it's regarding one's coin. Where we're at right now, tempers, yelling, screaming, and not dealing with the problem. People made money and now they're leaving. They're going to cash out and leave. And the rest of us are going to be stuck with 401ks. Those of us who were told to hold will wind up losing some money, it looks like. Hopes and fears, a crash in August, and the final outcome, Ace of Wands. So yes, we're going to see a drop in the market. The clarification is frugality, and take care of your own health. Final outcome. Yeah, there's going to be a drop in the market. There's going to be a downturn in the number of jobs that are available. The good news is that the green sector is exploding in 2020. So a whole new area of work is being offered that may offset this depression. And so this looks like the Green New Deal. There's going to be some arguments about how best to implement it, but you see this crash and then you see this beautiful warm breeze of peace and serenity, and it has an environmental aspect to it, and I think that that's the new Green Deal energy that's moving in, which leads me to suspect that a progressive will probably take the White House. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're still trying to get in for a tarot reading, yes, I still have openings for the week, and I would love to give you a reading. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for all the wonderful, nice comments. I do read them, and I appreciate the support. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.